Hey everyone, welcome to Top 10 of Killa. Today we are diving into the most unforgettable romantic films ever made in the human history. Movies that capture love in all its messy, beautiful and sometimes drama. Stick around. You don't want to miss this list. And hey, before we start, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel and drop a comment with your favorite romantic movie. Let's dive into the list. 10. Casablanca, 1942. Casablanca is more than just a classic romantic film. It's a cultural monument, an immortal piece of cinema that captures the tensions of love, sacrifice, and political uncertainty during the Second World War, all wrapped in unforgettable dialogue and performance. The film is set in Casablanca, Morocco, a city that during the war was a crossroads for refugees fleeing Nazis occupied Europe, a place where loyalities were fluid and the future was uncertain. At the center is Rick Blaine, played by Humphrey Bogart, an American expatriate who owns Rick Cafe American in a smoky nightclub where refugee spies and Nazis all mingle uneasily. Rick is portrayed as archetypal anti-hero, cynical and aloof and emotionally guarded. We learn that he was one in love with Elsa Lund, a mysterious woman who unexpectedly walks back into his life, now married to Victor Lazilo, a heroic resistance leader. This reunion triggers gut-wrenching dilemma. Will Rick reclaim his lost love or do morally right thing by helping Elsa and Victor escape to continue fighting the Nazis? What makes Casablanca endlessly compelling is how it weaves a personal with a political. The love story is not just about two individuals but set against a backdrop of global war, where choices mean life or death, freedom or oppression. Rick's famous line, "I stick my neck out for nobody," encapsulates his cynical facade. Yet at the end, he risks everything for a cause greater than himself, illustrating a profound transformation from selfishness to sacrifice. The film is drenched in iconic moments. Bittersweet farewell at a foggy airport, the haunting of as time goes by, and the morally complex characters who blur the lines between hero and villain. Its success is not only due to the star power of Bogart and Bergman, but also its sharp script, atmospheric setting, and underlying themes of honor, love, and redemption. Casablanca poses a question that resonates beyond wartime. And when does love demand sacrifice? How do we balance personal desires with collective responsibilities? It shows that sometimes love is not about possession or happiness, but about letting go for a greater good. A message that can be both inspiring and painfully realistic. Of course, there is a little sarcastic truth beneath. Romance. Rick's Cafe is full of people who think they are center of the world, and yet the whole city feels like waiting room to somewhere better. It's a perfect metaphor for love and life, uncertain, fleeting, and sometimes requiring painful choices. 9. The Notebook, 2004. Fast forward to the 20th century, The Notebook hits us with a tidal wave of romance, heartbreak, and all the sappy goodness that keeps a genre alive. Based on Nicholas Sparks' best-selling novel, it tells the story of Noah Calhoun and Ali Hamilton, two young lovers separated by class, circumstance, and war, yet bound by love so powerful that endures decades of hardship. Set in 1940s South, the story is told through the lenses of an elderly man reading from a notebook to a woman in a nursing home, slowly revealing their lifelong bond. Noah is a working-class dreamer who stores an old house as a symbol for his hope and love. Ali, a privileged daughter of the wealthy family, struggles between following her heart and obeying social expectations. Their story unfolds through stolen summers, passionate reunions, and crushing separations. What makes The Notebook resonate so deeply is its unbiased celebration of love's endurance. It doesn't pretend that love is easy. In fact, it revels in difficulties, the fights, the misunderstandings, and external pressures that test the couple's bond. The film's most famous scene, a rain-soaked kiss, has become an emblem of passion that refuses to be tamed by reality. However, The film's appeal also invites criticism for leaning heavily into the clinks and melodrama. Melodrama. The characters sometimes feel like archetypes, and the passionate rebel, the conflicted lover, rather than complex individuals. Yet the sincerity of their feelings shines through, reminding us that sometimes a love story can provide a profound emotional truth. The Notebook explores the idea that love is not just a feeling but a choice of the commitment that transcends time, memory, and suffering. It challenges the romantic idea of perfect love by showing that enduring the love is messy, painful, and requires resilience. And let's not ignore the subtle sarcasm that lingers. How many of us have sat through or delivered over-the-top declarations of love that border on obsessive? The film invites us to laugh at the absurd intensity of youthful passion, even as it honors it. 8. Pride and Prejudice, 2005. Few stories about love have endured as long or captured hearts as deeply as Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. The 2005 adaptation brings this beloved tale of romance, social class, and personal growth vibrantly to life while reminding us that love isn't just about flattering hearts, but also about confronting pride, prejudice, and rigid expectations of society. Set in early 9th century England, Pride and Prejudice explores the lives of the five Bennet sisters in their search for marriage, largely because at the time women's future hung on whom she could marry. At the center of this tale is Elizabeth Bennet, a fiercely intelligent and witty young woman who refuses to settle for superficiality or convenience. Opposite her stands Mr. Fitzwilliam Darcy, a wealthy, reserved gentleman whose initial arrogance makes a complexity and vulnerability beneath. The story unfolds as a slow dance of misunderstanding, social posturing, and gradual revelation. Elizabeth's sharp tongue and Darcy's pride clash repeatedly, each misjudging the other based on their first impression and social gossip. Their eventual coming together symbolizes the triumph of sincere understanding over superficial judgments, a message that resonates as much today as it did 2 centuries ago. What makes this film adaptation so powerful is its ability to balance the romance with the sharp social commentary. Austen's original novel was a critic of economic and social pressures that dictated women's lives, disguised in witty banter and romantic tension. The 2005 film captures this with sweeping countryside shots, elegant costumes, and the mood that swings between joyful lightness and sobering reality. Pride and Prejudice challenges us to reflect on how often our judgments about others are clouded by our own biases and fear. It encourages self-awareness, humility, and the courage to look beneath the surface. Elizabeth and Darcy's journey from misunderstanding to mutual respect reminds us that love built on truth and acceptance is stronger than love built on illusions or social expectations. On a lighter tone, there is a certain delicious irony in how so many adaptations and even the original text focus on the tension between those two proud characters, almost like a long-running romantic wrestling match. And yet, we keep coming back for more because we doesn't secretly love a little drama with its romance. 7. Titanic, 1997. If there's a film that redefined epic romance for a generation, it's James Cameron's Titanic, this sweeping disaster romance. This sweeping disaster romance is the perfect storm and everything in between. The dialogue feels authentic, philosophical, and refreshingly honest, capturing the awkwardness and excitement of new relationships without restoring to forced drama or contrived plots. What makes Before Sunrise so special is its celebration of presence. It's about being fully in the moment with another person, knowing that this connection might be brief but no less meaningful. The film invites viewers to reflect on how sometimes a single night or even a single conversation can meet and leave a lasting imprint on the one's life. Philosophically, the film touches the themes of impermanence, and the human desire for connection. Jesse and Celine, night together, is tinged with bittersweet awareness that their time is limited. This creates an urgency and intensity that many romantic films strive. And of course, there is this of ironic reality. And how many of us have experienced that perfect night with a stranger only to let it slip away, knowing life will pull us apart. Before sunrise is a chaotic reminder that some connections aren't meant to last forever. Their impact can linger. The success of the film spawned two sequels, Before the Sun Set and Before Midnight, which revisit Jesse and Celine at a different stage of their lives, continuing to explore the complexities of life, time and choices in a way few time and few films dare. 4. La La Land 2016. La La Land is a vibrant love letter to dreamers, artists, and bittersweet collisions of love and ambition set against a neon glow of modern Los Angeles. Directed by Damien Chazelle and starring Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling. It's a film that dazzling with a catchy turns, colorful visuals, and heart-stirring performance. But it's much more than just a musical. The story follows Mia, an aspiring actress who waits tables while auditioning for roles, and Sebastian, a passionate jazz musician clinging to his dream of opening jazz club. Their chance meeting sparks a whirlwind romance filled with hope, creativity, and shared hunger for success. But as they each strive to fulfill their dreams, their relationship is tested by sacrifice and compromises that passion often demands. What makes La La Land resonate is how it captures the tension between love and ambition, two powerful forces that don't always dance in harmony. It asks the hardest question: can you truly have it all, or must you choose between love and your dreams? The film explores the themes of idealism versus reality. It pays homage to classic Hollywood musicians with its fantasy-like sequences, but grounds itself in a bittersweet truth. Real life is rarely a perfect melody. The ending, in particular, is a bittersweet twist on traditional romantic finale, leaving viewers to reflect on the nature of the choice, regrets, and what could have been. Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling's chemistry is undeniable, and their performance bring warmth to characters caught in the push and pull of life ambitions. The film's jazz score is a character in itself, and symbolizing the improvisational nature of love and life. And there is a pinch of irony. La La Land reminds us that sometimes chasing your dreams means letting go of a person you love. A lesson that both heartbreaking and all too real in today's hustle culture. 3. Roman Holiday, 1953. Roman Holiday is a charming, timeless romantic comedy that captures the magic of spontaneous adventure and its bittersweet allure of a secret, fleeting romance. Directed by William Wyler, the film stars Audrey Hepburn in her breakout role as a Princess Anne, sheltered royal princess yearning for freedom from her stiff royal duties. While in Rome, Princess Anne escapes her handlers and embarks on a day of discovery. The fun with Joy Brandley, an American journalist played by Georgie Peck. Joy initially sees her as a story, but as they wander through Rome's beautiful streets, carrying Gletto and riding Vespa, he falls for her genuine spirit and charm. The film's strength lies in its portrayal of exploration, innocence of first love. It's about two people from wildly different worlds during connection, enjoying the present moment. And knowing their time together is limited, the Roman cityscape is more than a backdrop, a loving history, romance, and possibility. Andrew Hepburn's performance radiates great wit and vulnerability, creating a heroine who is both relatable and enchanting. In all respects, Joy balanced charm with a subtle moral drive should be exploit the princess story or protect her secret. His chemistry is warm and effortless, making romance feel genuine and heartfelt. Philosophically, Roman Holiday explores themes of freedom, identity, and sacrifice. Princess Anne's temporary escape into normalcy contrasts with a heavy responsibility she must return to, and highlighting the tension between a personal happiness and duty. Bittersweet ending, where she returns to her royal life and Joy lets her go, leaves lingering sense of longing, and the realization that some loves are meant to be cherished memories rather than forever realities. And of course, there is a gentle irony here. The Prince's Holiday reminds us how often we long to escape our roles and routines, yet life insists on pulling back to reality. Roman Holiday invites us to savor the moments of joy and connection, even if they are fleeting. 2. When Harry Met Sally, 1989. When Harry Met Sally is much more than just a romantic comedy. It's a sharp, witty, and exploration of relationships, friendship, and the elusive line between love and companionship. Directed by Rob Reiner and featuring the undeniable chemistry of Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan. This film tackles the age-old question: can men and women truly be just friends? The story follows Harry Burns and Sally Albert, who first met in college and then repeatedly cross paths over the years. Each encounter peels back layers of their personalities and evolving feelings, from skepticism and sarcasm to genuine affection. The film cleverly captures the awkwardness, misunderstandings, and gradual trust building that characterize many real relationships, making it feel more authentic than your average rom-com fluff. One of the film's standout features is its sharp, memorable dialogue. The iconic dinner scene, where Sally famously demonstrates the art of fake orgasm, has become a part of the pop culture lexion in balancing humor with a frank look at intimacy and gender dynamics. The script's clever writing doesn't just make you laugh. It invites you to reflect on how societal expectations shape our romantic lives. When Harry Met Sally challenges conventional romantic ideals. It questions whether true love springs from instant attraction or grows from years of shared experience and friendship. The film suggests that timing, vulnerability, and personal growth are just as crucial as chemistry. Henry, cynical but honest worldview clashes and eventually melts with sad idealism, showing that life is a messy, complex negotiation between two flawed people. And naturally, there is a pinch of irony in the film's earnestness, because who hasn't at some point debated the friend zone or wondered if the best friend may secretly be the one? The movie captures that relatable tension perfectly, making us both laugh and cringe at the complexities of modern love. 1. Gone with the Wind, 1939. Topping our list is a granddaddy of epic romances, Gone with the Wind, a sprawling, passionate, and often controversial film that has defined cinematic love stories for generations. Directed by Victor Fleming and adapted from Margaret Mitchell novel, the film's set against a turbulent backdrop of American Civil War and Reconstruction, weaving a tale of survival, pride, fear, and passion. At the center is Scarlett O'Hara, portrayed by Vivian Leigh, in a performance that oscillates between charm, manipulation, and raw vulnerability. Scarlett is a force of nature, fiercely determined to survive and protect her family's plantation, Tara, at any cost. Opposite her is Rand Butler, rugged, cynical man who matches Scarlett's fire with his own brand of charisma and defense. The film is an emotional whirlwind of love, heartbreak, and war and social upheaval. Scarlett's obsessive love for Ashley Wilkers, her manipulative tactics, and her tumultuous relationship with Rex create a complex portrait of passion and human fan. It's a love story wrapped in pride, jealousy, and the brutal realities of a challenging world. Gone with the Wind delves into the themes of identity, power, and resilience. Scarlett's refusal to conform to societal expectations and her relentless will to survive reflect a fierce individualism that both fascinates and frustrates. Rand's famous line, "Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn," epitomizes his disillusionment and a complicated nature of the love that's entangled with pride and regret. Of course, it's impossible to ignore the film's historical content and the problematic portrayals of race and antebellum South.
While the film is a monumental piece of cinematic history, it also serves as a reminder of how storytelling can romanticize and distort reality. Still, the sweeping romance, stunning cinematography, and unforgettable performances have cemented Gone with the Wind as a touchstone of classic Hollywood. It influences coins in the countless films and reminds us that love stories are often messy, dramatic, and larger than life. That's it for the top 10 romantic films. If you enjoyed this countdown, please hit that like button and subscribe for more great content, and let me know in the comments which romantic movie stole your heart. Thanks for watching Top 10 of Kerala. See you next time.